What's up? It's your boy Iron Cameraman. In episode 18, which came out 2 years ago, Titan Cameraman appeared for the first time. And by episode 73, he had become the most frequently used character in all of Skibidi Toilet, meaning we saw him on screen more than anyone else. But over a year ago, he disappeared from the radar, literally. Neither the Alliance nor the Astro toilets have any idea where he is. So for a whole year, nothing has been known about one of the most popular characters, and that's why I've decided to come back to this topic. But the main subject of this video is something a little different. Before we start though, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Otherwise, you might miss my future uploads. Anyway, here we go. Boom already said that the Scorpion will return within the next 5 episodes, and the whole time he was on Earth, he had one goal: to destroy G-Man. He almost got him in episode 60 and then again in episode 72. And both times he would have finished him off if it weren't for the scientists stepping in or the stolen TV men tech. Since the UFO ordered Juggernaut to keep hunting G-Toilet after failing, there's no reason to think Scorpion's fate is any different, especially since it's obvious he's planning to come back for revenge. Ironically though, last time Juggernaut saved him, but next time he might betray him. It's pretty clear Scorpion's gonna return with some upgrades. What could those include? First of all, protection against energy spheres, since that's what took him down before. But it's not mandatory, because Titan Cameraman, for example, just deflected G-Man's sphere with the same claw after seeing how it worked on Titan TV Man. Still, some extra protection like an energy shield wouldn't hurt. The thing is, when his claws are busy blocking attacks from the front, his back stays vulnerable. That's exactly what the kamikaze took advantage of. But if he had an energy shield, he could have covered his back, especially since other Astros already have one. It's also possible that after capturing Titan TV Man, other Astros, including Scorpion, got access to some of his tech. What kind of tech? Definitely not a giant TV screen, but a compact version could be in the cards, since G-Man's defensive gear is actually pretty easy to disable. And then red radiation could be used. Even if he resists it, it would still block his vision, making him vulnerable to all kinds of attacks and unable to fight back, because you can't fight blind. Another piece of TV man tech he could use would be portals, not for teleportation, but to launch and block attacks. Next came the question, if the Skibidi toilets are Astros, then are the Astros actually aliens? The answer we got was, possibly. From another answer Boom gave, about the many planets conquered by the Astro Empire, it becomes clear that yes, by definition, they're aliens, meaning they're part of an extraterrestrial civilization, and a highly advanced, powerful one at that. But here's what's even more interesting: how the past will affect the future. Who they are doesn't matter as much as what kind of relationships they had. That's why I really liked this question, but as you might have guessed, it went unanswered. So now it's theory time. Let's start with the most important part. G-Toilet used to be a commander. Judging by the size of the UFO, the rank or title of commander isn't given just for physical abilities. Otherwise, Mothership would be the commander. That means it requires significant achievements. And from the way G-Man talked to Juggernaut about conquered worlds and glory, you can tell he was extremely successful. That means he commanded a significant army that was loyal to him. And even more than that, the scientists supported him too, and he doesn't seem to be part of the Astro military, judging by his specialty. Even Juggernaut, who was sent to Earth, still seems uncertain about his mission to eliminate G-Toilet, unlike Scorpion. What does all that point to? First, most of G-Man's allies came from the military, since he was a commander, but there were allies outside the military too, maybe even from the upper class, like the Duchy. With support from both the elite and the army, G-Man could have pulled off a full-on coup. Second, there are still Astro allies or potential allies of G-Toilet out there, like Juggernaut. If G-Man manages to get in touch with them, he could gain reinforcements, first for Earth, then against the Astro Empire. And what kind of help he gets depends on who responds. Scientists could provide tech and info about weaknesses to help defeat the Astros more easily, and the elites could prepare the ground for future uprisings on conquered planets, and even the overthrow of the current regime. And since we're talking about governments, what happened to Earth's government anyway? According to another answer, millions survived. But the only organized resistance we see is the Alliance, not any government forces. So it makes you think that Earth's government suffered the same fate as the rest of humanity. But on the flip side, we also know the government played a direct role in creating the Alliance, like when the secret agent was appointed administrator of Alpha Hills. Taking that into account, there are two likely scenarios. First, the secret agent didn't tell the government about the upcoming Astro invasion and passed off the Alliance's projects as something else, like the 3 types of energy as futuristic energy sources, or the agent robots as a new labor force. Second, the secret agent did inform the government, but one of the conditions of their agreement was that the government wouldn't interfere with the Alliance's actions. In that case, select members of the government could still be alive, hiding in bunkers or other safe locations. But someone else whose whereabouts still need to be cleared up is Titan Cameraman. Boom said that showing him again was in the plans. So at the very least, we'll find out what happened to him. The answer doesn't sound too hopeful. It kind of suggests Titan Cameraman actually died. But that's strange, because there are several clues that strongly suggest he survived. First of all, the secret agent wouldn't just sit around and do nothing. He saved G-Toilet by charging his energy sphere with green energy, that's confirmed by his personal appearance, and then saved Titan Cameraman too. We know that because the UFO mentioned losing contact with the squad that was chasing Titan Cameraman, and the camera TV-based broadcast cut out long before the UFO spoke. If that squad had survived, they would have reported back about their mission by now, success or failure, but they haven't. The only logical explanation is that they were wiped out. Could Titan Cameraman have taken them out all by himself? Unlikely. He was probably helped not just by the secret agent, but by the whole secret squad, maybe even the PC men. That's likely what we'll see in the future, how Titan Cameraman was saved, and what happened to him afterward. Most likely he's being repaired and upgraded at a base like Alpha Hills. I also had a theory that Titan Cameraman is G-Man's secret weapon, working with the secret agent just like the scientist does. That idea lines up with another answer saying the secret weapon is both a piece of tech and a character, a robot which fits Titan Cameraman perfectly. And come on, Boom would never write off such an important character off-screen, but besides bringing back old characters, we also want to see new ones. That's why Steak asked if the TV men's ranks would be expanded with striders or flying combat units. The answer, possibly. At first glance, it seems like too much time has passed. If the TV men were planning something like that, wouldn't it have happened by now? But lately, we've seen them getting upgrades themselves, and we also know it took the cameramen dozens of episodes to upgrade their strider and orbital camera. So now the TV men are facing the same need, especially since they lost their Titan and are actively fighting alongside the cameramen as we've seen. Plus, they've got a sample of unique weaponry, Juggernaut's energy cannon, which they can study. A small version, like with the claws or energy rings, could be used independently. And mid to large versions could be mounted on heavy striders, drones, or other machines. On top of that, we've got Boom's answer saying the radiation from Watchmen of Doom's new TV head can pierce through protective lenses. With an upgrade like that, TV men tech would become way more effective against the Astros on the battlefield. And finally, let's look at the question of how many other characters might have the ability to shapeshift. We're talking about Agent Tessa's ability to take on a different form using holograms. What's interesting is that the secret agent can use holograms too. We saw that during G-Man's fight with Juggernaut. The Astros don't use invisibility like that, which means these are two totally different technologies, and holograms are more advanced, since the Astros don't have them. So it makes sense that only a small group of characters would have access to them. But based on Boom's answer, it's not just the secret agent and Agent Tessa. There's a chance that Shepard, the one with the glowing green eyes, used it on the mutant negotiator to sneak him into the cameraman base. Because based on the dialogue between the TV scientist and the cameraman, all humans were screened. Who else might have this ability? Since it's tied to green energy, it's likely that every member of the secret squad has it. including the twins and green speakerman. The PC men might have it too. Their energy might actually be green, since it's connected to abilities related to computers, like hacking and remote access. Guys, this is already part 8 of Steak's interview with Boom. As you've probably noticed, most of these questions don't have direct answers, so I'm trying to answer them myself, and that's a lot of work. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, I'd really appreciate it. If you missed the first 7 parts, I've made a playlist with all of them in order. Just click, and you'll start from the beginning. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdowns. See you next time.